This is the validation logic that we are using to create new user. But this is not going to work. Let me show you why. I'm going to come inside my Postman and I'll send the new request with this invalid email. Here I don't have this @email.com. I'm not using the exact pattern. Let's just send this request, and we are sending request. Let's just wait and could not get response back. So let's just come inside our application, open the terminal, and now here you can see we got this error, no recipient defined. And this error is coming from, if you read these error messages carefully, here we have this node mailer. So this error is coming from inside node mailer. And when we are using node mailer, we are using node mailer to send emails. And because that needs this name that I'm using is not the valid email, or the pattern is not matched, this is going to give us that error. So here we have multiple problems. The very first problem is that we didn't prevent our invalid email with this logic that we have here. And the second problem is, even we got the error and we didn't get any response back, but if you come inside your database and refresh it, you will create this brand new user. And we have another problem, that whenever we are going to get any error, we are not sending response back. We should at least have that response back that we got some error, right? So to fix it, what we need to do, first of all, you can come inside this create new user, and because we are using async and await here, we are going to use this try catch block, like try catch, and I'm going to move everything inside my try block. So let's just cut all these things out and we will paste them inside try block. Now whenever this code is going to run, first of all it will try to run the code from inside this try block, and whenever we are going to get any error, like we got that error from inside our node mailer, we are going to catch that error inside our catch block. So we can simply use this raise.status and we can set all these status, but we already have the method called send error method, where you can pass your response, you can pass the message, and let's use this error.message, and we are going to set this status 500, means something went wrong. For now we are not defining any type for this error, and this is going to be unknown, so you will see this error right here, but that's fine. Let's just save this file. And now if we try to create new account, let's just change this email, and I'm just going to add some value at the end, but still I'm not going to use the valid pattern. So I'm just going to send this request, and let's just wait, and we got this no recipient defined. Now at least we didn't get, or at least we didn't crash our application. As you can see, DB connected successfully. We don't have any error message inside our console, and the reason is this catch block. Now inside this application, we are going to use async and await for every function. And at that point of time, we have to wrap all of those code inside our try catch block. And I don't like to repeat myself all the time to use this try catch block and write the error logic or write the code to send the message. And for that here, we are going to automate the error handling code. So for that, let's just come inside this create new user function, and here I'm going to also add this next function so that we can make it like middleware function. And I will go at the end of this try block, means I'll go inside this catch block, and right here what we will do, we'll simply call this next function with the error. So whenever we are going to get any error, we'll just call the next function and we are going to send the error. Let's just save this file, and where this error going to go, or what this next function will be. Let's come inside this index.ts, and at the end I'm going to use this app.use method. So because we are calling next function from inside our auth router, from inside this create new user, if you come all the way in, this is the next function. So what it will do, it will call the next function. So that next function can be the function that we are going to use as the middleware function. So here you can pass your function, and inside this function we are going to have our request, response, and the next. But we also want to read this error, right? So for that, if you just search for this Express catching errors or how to handle errors in Express, then you will get this Express.js official documentation. Let's come inside this, and let's just come down, and let me show you the code that we are about to use. So here we have the default error handler, and if you come down, that's going to be our default error handler. So inside the error handler function, you will get the error at first, then you will have the request, response, and the next function. So we are going to come inside this index.ts, and in the beginning we will have this error as well. But as you can see, we have this problem, and reason is the TypeScript. TypeScript is not going to understand what these 4 parameters are. So for that, here we are going to cast its type. So we are going to use this as keyword, and I'm going to use this express dot error, or here still we are getting this problem. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this to old function. I'm going to remove the error from here, and now we can cast the type. So this is going to be our error request handler. Now this error can be any, this request is going to be request object, this response is going to be response object, and this next is going to be next function. So because we are calling the next function right here, that is going to come inside this block, and right here we'll have that same error. So here I'm going to use rage.status, and here we can set this 500 as the status code, and we are going to use the JSON, and right here you can pass your error message, and this is going to be err.message. Now let's save this file, come inside our Postman, and again I will change this to something else, and I'll just send the request. And now as you can see, instead of could not get response back, we will get the message back, and the reason is this function. If you open the terminal, there is going to be no error. So that's how we can automate errors inside Express.js. And there is a package to handle these Express errors, and that package is Express Async Errors. Let's just click on this npm.js result, and this is the package that we can use. So let's just copy this function, and I'll install this Express Async Errors. And now what I can do, instead of wrapping all these things like this inside the try catch block, we are going to remove them. So let's just remove all these things, and I'll also remove the next function from here, and I'll save this file. And now inside this index.ts, I'm going to import that express async errors. That's it. Now we don't need to wrap all the code inside a try catch block. Now this express async error will handle that part, and this app.use method will send the error message. So now again, if I come inside my Postman and try to create new account with different but invalid email, then I'll get that same message back. So we don't need to use try catch block, we don't need to send the error inside that next function. So everything will be handled by this express async errors.